Create Art Podcast. Project NaPoWriMo, otherwise known as National Poetry Writing Month. Hello friends, this is Timothy Chemo Bryan, your head instigator for Create Art Podcast, where I bring my 20 plus years of experience in the arts and education world to help you tame your inner critic and create more than you consume. So this month is National Poetry Writing Month. Happens every April. And National Poetry Writing Month is known as NaPoWriMo, and it's a creative writing project. And what they do is they give you prompts. If you go to the NaPoWriMo website at NaPoWriMo.net, and they'll give you 30 prompts for the 30 days in April. Now, on the website, you can also interact with other people. This year is going to be different from the previous years that I've done this project. This year, I'm going to be writing poetry throughout the year, and I am following a different prompt than the one that the National Poetry Writing Month folks do. Now, I've been doing poetry since 1988. I know for a lot of people here, they're like, whoa, the 1900s. But I've been doing it for a long time. I've been writing poetry for a long time and performing my poetry. So this year, like I said, I'm going to be writing all throughout the year. And the blog that I'm using is called Think Written. And the links for that will be in the show notes. I'm also going to be performing these works at Katura Coffee House here in Fredericksburg, Virginia on their Friday night Snaps open mic poetry reading. You'll have a link for that again in the show notes. And a lot of people, they ask me, hey, Tim, why do you do this to yourself every year? And my answer to that is, if I'm going to ask you to be, taming your inner critic and creating things, then I need to be doing it too, right alongside you. So that's why this year I'm doing it a little bit different, but I will be interacting with the poets there on the NaPoWriMo site. And we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty excited to be doing it this way. The prompt for today's poem is how it feels when you don't belong in a group of others, otherwise known as misfits. This one's titled, The Wind Gets Cold Out Here. It was a few years back, during a Thanksgiving meal, seated with over 100 folks in uniform, most of them my clients. It was a work function. Attendance was strongly recommended. So, walking through the food line, they set up, making nice with everyone, sat with a group of clients, and just like that, as happens in dinner tables all across America, someone was making cracks at Michelle Obama, saying how they shouldn't let monkeys wear such nice clothes. And no, it wasn't the drunk racist uncle that no one listens to. It was a white, college-educated, professional woman who happened to be in uniform, who happened to be my client, who happened to be looking for work with the feds. Excusing myself, wasn't going to try to bash my head against the wall. And as others in the group laughed along, guess who she doesn't work for? And the next line I was going to write would have been, guess who got blackballed? But then I thought, am I that far removed from them? I took the next job after I lost 3 clients in 6 months. One to cancer who wouldn't admit defeat. One to a holdup gone wrong on his last day of duty in front of his daughter. One who decided to take a long walk into a lake. I took the job to get away. to work with those that were told to put kids in cages. And now their conscience got the better of them. And they were offing themselves in droves. The job was to make them feel better. And I get how they got into the mess. They had no future, no hope to achieve anything better. So they signed themselves over to uphold the law. And here I am, giving aid and comfort to someone's enemy, to someone's nightmare. Will I be tried for war crimes when it's my turn to cross over? Comforting those who do things that we won't do, who we rage against, who are following orders. I have empathy for them, but I'll never be in their club. All right, so that was my poem for this day for National Poetry Writing Month. I hope you enjoyed it. You can go right to the website, createartpodcast.com, and you can go ahead and comment right there in the comment section if you like. Now, something I'd like to ask you is, if you enjoyed it, shoot me an email, timothy@createartpodcast.com. I want to hear about your journey, and I want to hear about what you're working on. And if you'd like to be on the show or, would like to discuss a topic that's giving you trouble, well, then go ahead and email me. Let's start that conversation. I also want to let you know about another podcast that I do, and that one is called Find a Podcast About, and that's where I help you find your next binge-worthy podcast and outsmart that algorithm. You can find that podcast at findapodcastabout.xyz. Last thing I'd like to say here is if you found value in the show, let me know. Pass it on to a friend. If you have ideas on what I could do better to make this a 5-star podcast, I want to hear about those too. I want to be helping you with your art, to be bold with your art, as I do it right beside you. I'll see you next time.